Hey, this is Sequentially yours, initially mine. This is the show where we look at this week's number ones and find out what's worth your time and what you should probably leave on the shelf. Alright, so not every week is going to be a good week. There are some weeks where there's going to be something new coming out and a lot of things new coming out and nothing is particularly good. And unfortunately, that's kind of what's going on with this week. I mean no offense to the creators who I'm sure have worked very, very hard on these things, but I gotta say, from this reviewer's perspective, it's a pretty terrible week. I'm, of course, not counting any of the new stuff coming out of Marvel. I'm not counting Darkseid War right now because that is a lot of number ones altogether that's sort of outside of this show's scope. So no Darkseid War from DC, not stuff coming from Marvel. I'm doing a separate video for the number ones for that, although they are really just kind of rolling into things. And I will say that I did enjoy Secret Wars 2, which was the last Secret Wars tie-in, which made a lot of fun of the fact that Secret Wars is still going on despite the fact that the new universe has been launched, including the fact that there is going to be a 9th Secret Wars book. There was supposed to be 8, now there's 9, and they're running a little bit late, but we'll see. I'm kind of curious to see where it goes. Apparently Jonathan Hickman is curious to see where it goes, so we'll find out eventually. Alright, in the meantime, let's get down to this week's comics. First thing we're going to talk about, Hero Hourly. Alright, so we've discussed this before. We will discuss it again. There's nothing inherently wrong with superhero deconstructions. Nothing at all. The problem is when it becomes so cynical that you are no longer deconstructing the superhero genre and its tropes. What you are doing is just complaining that they exist. And that's what's happening with Hero Hourly. And the thing is that it's got a decent plot to it. The idea is not a bad one. The basic concept is our main character works for a company called Hero Hourly, that the inventor of a super soldier serum, a superhero, a thing that gives people superpowers, patented it and created this company where for, a 9-hour shift they'll have superpowers and they do bodyguard stuff and all that kind of thing. It's not a terrible idea. I kind of like the idea. The problem is that, first of all, the main character is astoundingly unlikable, and I think that we're supposed to not like him, but that's not how it works. If you have an unlikable main character, what ends up happening is that I no longer want to read about them. I just don't care what happens to them anymore, so why should I bother to continue? It's okay to have a flawed character. Don't get me wrong, flawed is good. Flawed is fine. You can even have a character who is astoundingly flawed. But they need to have at least one redeeming trait, and Saul does not have one redeeming trait. No. None whatsoever. It's written by James Patrick, pencils by Carlos Trigo, and colors by Alex Solazzo. The art on this, both pencils and colors, is very good. I like it. I'm enjoying it. But just plot-wise, so cynical. It comes off like somebody who doesn't like superheroes is what it really boils down to. I don't care about reading about somebody who doesn't like this stuff. I see hints of something that could happen, but as a number one, it really turned me off from this, unfortunately. So, bye, Hero Hourly. Alright. I told you not much came out this week. I'm not reviewing Huck also because I'm not going to give Mark Millar my money. Sorry, guys. Find somebody else who will do that, but quite frankly, I'm getting a little sick of Millar taking his fan base for granted. So, what else do we have? Cops and Criminals is our default winner for this week, but it's only the best of two kind of not great ones. It's mediocre. It has excellent artwork, but plot-wise, I kept getting lost and bored, one or the other. The main character is a FBI agent excuse me, who is approached by Internal Affairs to do sting operations, and this somehow lands him in jail. I've seen The Raid 2. I don't need to read about it in a comic book, because that's basically what this story is so far, is The Raid 2. Don't get me wrong, I loved The Raid 2, but I at least really liked the main character in The Raid, in that series, and this guy is just so bland. So bland, in fact, that at one point I couldn't really tell who he was in a panel. I'm sure I'll have it up there at one point, but yeah, he's taking down these guys on the dock, and there's 4 guys on the dock, and they all basically look the same. They all act the same. They all hold themselves in the same way, except that one is doubled over in pain for... I presume the main character stole his gun somehow? Maybe? I don't even know what's going on. I want to like this, because I think there's a lot going on here, and I think that it could be a really compelling story, but so far we haven't really... There's nothing in here that really follows through, if you see where I'm coming from. It sets up a lot, but it doesn't give us a push that makes us want to stay in. The hook at the end is that once he gets into prison, he Wait. Spoiler alert. 3, 2, 1. The hook is when he gets into prison, he finds out that someone on the outside has paid a lot of money to have him protected. And we're supposed to wonder why, and part of me does, but I just don't get this character. I don't understand why I'm supposed to like this character. I don't understand what about him is supposed to be engaging. Again, I couldn't concentrate. I want to like this. This is another one from Legendary Publications, which is the same... It's Guillermo del Toro's production company. They also did a Pacific Rim comic. They've been coming out with a new comic almost every week, and most of them have been okay. I've liked the ones they've come out with so far. Cops for Criminals just is not keeping my attention, and I basically spent my time reading it wanting to watch Jessica Jones instead. Not because Jessica Jones is like it, but because Jessica Jones is not it. So, I guess what I'm saying here is that neither of these is really worth your time. Of the two of them, Cops and Criminals might be interesting, and Hero Hourly has some good ideas, but of the two of them, Cops for Criminals has more potential to actually get better as time goes on, whereas Hero Hourly, I just can't imagine them exploring those ideas in a way that isn't mean-spirited. Well, like I said, not every week is good. Sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches. Anyway, as you'll notice, it's a little bit darker in here. I'm starting to learn how to do lighting because, well, it's getting on winter. And other than that, I've got a birthday tomorrow, so feel free to wish me a happy birthday in the comments. If you would be so kind. Otherwise, yeah, that's really about it. I don't know what your opinion on this week's comics are going to be, but these were initially mine. Take care.